welcome back to Bella La Moda. Today's video is going to be the beauty scenario tag, which was created by Lily Pebbles. I thought I'd join in with one of the tag videos so that you guys can get to know me a bit better now that I've done a few YouTube videos. So for those of you that don't know the beauty scenario tag, it's a variety of beauty scenarios that you may be put into and you have to answer the questions. So here are my answers. Number 1. You have to get rid of all your foundations and you can only keep one high-end and one drugstore. What do you keep? Now this was an easy one for me. I don't have a lot of foundations because I really struggle to find foundations that match my natural tone. I don't tend to buy a lot of the high-end ones purely because I don't know whether they're going to suit my skin tone, what they're going to be like, and I don't know if I want to invest the money in them. I do want to try and experiment with some more foundations, so I'm hoping to do that over the next couple of months and try out a few other brands. For my high-end brand, I chose my MAC Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15, and I have the shade NW13. I've not been using MAC for very long, only since December, and for me this is a high-end one because it's the most amount of money I've ever spent on a foundation. I love this foundation, it goes on so nice. I finally found one that actually matches my skin tone and doesn't make me look orange. So I love this, it goes on really smooth, it blends out really nice, and I don't find that I have any lines like around my chin or anything. So this is why I choose this one as my high end. My drugstore one, I guess you could call this brand a drugstore because it is available on the high street, and it's my Inglot Cream Foundation. I have the shade 26. This was the first foundation that I had ever used that actually matched my skin tone pretty much spot on. And this just goes on flawless, it doesn't cake, it's really natural, and again, it's easy to blend and lasts. I'd say it lasts most of the day. I don't get as good coverage out of it as I do my MAC one, and it doesn't last as long as the MAC one. This is my favourite for the drugstore, and I think this is only around £10, so it's quite affordable. Question number 2. You go for an interview and the lady interviewing you has lipstick on her teeth. Do you approach the subject or ignore it completely? This is a difficult one. Generally, I would tell somebody if they had lipstick on their teeth, just because no one wants to be walking around with lipstick on their teeth. It's embarrassing. In an interview situation though, it would be the difference between you getting the job and not getting the job. I think I would probably ignore it because if I pointed it out to them, they might not take it very well, and then it might go against you in the interview and you may not get the job. So yeah, my decision would be to ignore it completely and altogether. Question number 3. You're not feeling yourself and need a pick-me-up. Which lipstick do you put on to make yourself feel beautiful? If I'm not feeling myself, generally that would mean that I can't be bothered to put makeup on. So lipstick, I don't know if I would be wearing it. If I did think, do you know what a lipstick would cheer me up? I think it would be this one from Bourjois. It's their Rouge edition in the shade number 11. It's a really, really kind of bright red. I don't know if you can really see that. It comes out like this on the hand. So it's a nice bright red. I think this would be my favourite just because I love wearing it. It's just a nice, bright, bold colour, and it always makes me feel, I don't know, happy. I love a bold colour, it just makes a really nice statement. And yeah, this one would definitely perk me up if I wasn't feeling myself. Question number 4. You go back in time for a day to your teenage years. How would you do your hair and makeup differently? In my teenage years, I think I experimented with some makeup, but not loads. It was my hair that was the worst thing. I used to put gel on my hair. I had this thing when I was younger that I hated bumps in my hair when I was tying it back. So what I would do is I would cake my hair in gel and literally have it all pulled back tight and like flat, and then just so hard and crisp from the gel. So yeah, if I went back, I would never do that because it looked awful and it looked like I had greasy hair all the time. I think one other thing that I would change from my teenage years with makeup is that I used to put eyeliner right like on the inside of my eye. I know that's really bad and it did cause me to have some eye irritations and kind of blockages there, and it did cause me some problems later on. So if I could go back, that would be another thing that I would change. Number 5, You ask your hairdresser for a shoulder length pixie lot haircut, but they hear you wrong and give you a pixie cut. Do you A, smile, say thank you, leave and call your mum hysterical? B, cry in the chair and things get awkward? Or C, complain to the manager and demand a refund? I think I would like to do C, complain to the manager and demand a refund, but I'm just not that person. I don't like to create a fuss and I don't like to complain. Even if it's in a restaurant and I've had something served up to me, I don't really like to complain about it. So I know that would be the one that I'd like to do, but I wouldn't do it. I would probably just do A. Smile, say thank you, and then call my mum hysterical. Especially if they cut all my hair off, because I've had that done before and I've sat in the chair and gone, thanks, I really like it. Gone home and been like, oh my God, I can't do anything with it. And then burst into tears upstairs in my room whilst my mum was trying to console me. So that would probably be what I would do. I would go for A. Question number 6 is your friend surprises you with a 4-day city break and you have 1 hour to pack. Which Do It All palette do you pack in your makeup bag? Let me just say, first of all, if someone gave me an hour to pack, it's not going to happen. I'd take way longer than that. I'd probably take just an hour to pack my makeup bag, let alone everything. So yeah, let's just address that point. I don't really have a Do It All palette. I have palettes for blush, palettes for eyeshadow, palettes for concealer. I don't have one that kind of does everything. If I had to choose one, I think I would probably be a Makeup Academy Undressed eyeshadow palette. This was the first one that they did, and I think it's only about £6. Excuse the state of this, it's all cracked on the top and it's a bit dirty inside, but I just really like this one because it has a mixture of neutral shades, there's browns in it, there's a couple of darker shades that you could use to line your eyes or create a smoky eye if it was something that you were doing in the evening and going out. I just really love this palette. As you can see, it's been well used and well loved. I would definitely repurchase this one. And yeah, this would be the one that I would choose to take with me because there's just a lot of colour varieties in there that I could use to create a variety of looks. Question number 7. Your house has been robbed. Don't worry, everyone is safe, but your beauty stash has been raided. What's the product you really hope is safe? I found this one really difficult because I don't really have any beauty products that I would be overly concerned about if I'd been robbed. I'd be more concerned about things like my jewellery, my photos, that kind of stuff, as that means more to me and they've been bought as gifts. If I had to choose one thing from my makeup stash, I guess it would be my nail polish collection because it's one thing that I've kind of had and created into quite a huge collection in that I have a huge shoe storage container on the back of my door that I just slot them all in. So yeah, mine would be my nail polish collection because I have a huge stash, I've built it up over a long time and I have a wide variety of colours and I'm one of those people that loves to change their nail polish every week. Nail polish collection is one thing I'm proud of and it's one thing that I would probably miss if it got stolen. On to the final question now, which is question number 8. Your friend borrows your makeup and returns it in an awful condition. Do you A, just pretend you haven't noticed, B, ask them to repurchase, or C, secretly do the same to some of theirs? This is a tough one. I don't really know if I'd lend my stuff out to people anyway. I probably wouldn't lend it out to them in the product. I'd probably decant it into like the plastic containers that you get that they could just take with them so that they have a sample of them. But I guess if I lent someone an eyeshadow palette and they brought it back in a state and broken, I'd kind of be pissed. Especially if it was an expensive one or one that I'd got. Now let's think about this in terms of the Sephora It palette. If somebody brought my Sephora It palette back in a terrible state to the point that it was broken and I couldn't use very much of it anymore, I would be really annoyed. I would probably say something. I definitely wouldn't smile and ignore it. I'd say, you're bringing that back in that state. I think you need to kind of replace it. I don't think I'd do the same to one of their things because yeah, it's not nice, and then there would be an awkward situation of them maybe being the one to say something to you and saying, well, now you need to repurchase it. What would your answer be? It would be, well, you broke something of mine, so I've broken something of yours. It's a bit childish. yeah, I probably wouldn't choose any of those. I would probably just go for option D, which would be to say something to them about the state of the palette, but I wouldn't kind of push it on them to repurchase it. I'd just make them feel a little bit bad, just so that I got an apology. If you got an apology, it would be fine. At least they knew then that they'd upset you and they wouldn't do it again. But secretly, I wouldn't let them have anything again if they did that. So I hope you've enjoyed my answers to the beauty scenario tag. Let me know what your answers would be. I tag all of you guys and leave your links below to your video so that I can take a look and see what you guys would have said. I'll be back next week to share with you my monthly favourites for July. Thank you for watching and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye!